Hello. Seems bizarre that I'm sat here on a beautiful sunny autumn day doing a video about a few simple tips to keep warm in winter. But that's the way it is. It's lovely now, but it's going to get colder here soon. And we lived in our camper van through a really cold winter when we first came here to France, and we've also lived in a house that is actually can be quite cold. So over the last sort of 11 years, we have learnt a few ways to keep warm when you have to. Very simple. And I just thought I'd share them with you because it might be relevant to this year. So the first thing is to keep yourself warm. So make sure you're wearing layers. Layers are really important, and layers of the right kind of clothing. So woolen things are good. I think it's not good to wear cotton close to your skin, and I can't remember why exactly. So plenty of layers of the right kind of clothing. Wool being one of the things that naturally keeps you warm and ventilates quite well. Keep your head warm. So hats become really important. Even if you're in your house, just wear a hat. Just keep your own energy and warmth. Keep moving. That's another thing. Move about. Don't get into that sort of mentality of like just sitting there, I'm cold, and thinking about that, because it soon affects your mentality and how you feel. So get up and move around, do something. If you can go out for a walk, get out for a brisk walk. When you come back, you'll feel warm for at least a good 30 minutes to an hour afterwards. And it also lifts your mood as well, so you're just not getting that sort of hunkering down thing. Do things like the obvious things, like plug up any drafts under your doors. You can roll up anything, anything that you've got, old clothing, an old bit of carpet. Find something to block off drafts under doors, round windows as well, seal. Sometimes I've heard of people putting that bubble wrap on the windows. That's meant to save quite a lot of heat escaping. Choose one room that you can heat. Don't have to heat the whole house. We've got so used to with central heating of heating all the house and rooms that we don't really use, and you go out into your hall and it's still heated, and it's fine, it's great when you've got the money to do it and the energy to do it. But when you haven't, then get down to sort of choose your room that you want to keep warm and have that as your warm place. When you go into the kitchen, maybe that's not as warm a place, except when you're cooking, of course. It naturally makes it warmer. When you go out of your warm room, make sure you've got something on, almost like if you were going outside. Make sure you're keeping that warmth in. Go and do the things you have to do. Come back to your warm place. Warm drinks and warm food is also good. Now, I know that's a little bit contradictory with the fact we're trying to save energy and everything, but obviously you've got to look after yourself. So having a warm drink as well can be really good. Little things that make life more pleasurable. Hot water bottles. Get a hot water bottle or dig out a hot water bottle. We haven't needed these things for years. Many of us, we use hot water bottles here. That can be really nice, going to bed with a hot water bottle, or even sitting in your chair with one. Taking all the usual precautions about having something hot near you, obviously. Wearing nice warm socks. Oh my gosh, if we need to give people something for Christmas this year, let's go back to buying each other's socks, nice woolly socks that are properly warm. A lot of our clothes now, we've got out of the way of having warm things, so it might be a case of like look in your charity shops and see if you can find big wool jumpers. They don't have to be fashion, they don't have to be attractive, they just have to be warm. So it's going back to really those things that our parents and certainly our grandparents did. It's different, but it's important to keep ourselves warm. It's really important for your mental health, I think, just especially not to sort of get too down with that. So what we did in the camper van, which was our more extreme version of being cold. We were cold. We didn't have much heating at all. We only had our cooker. So we used that for heating. We just put the cooker on at certain times. We wrapped up all the time. We went to bed well wrapped up. I think there were some days we just didn't get undressed, actually. We just kept everything on. And we certainly wore hats a lot, little woolly hats. Even in bed, wore a hat because it gets too cold. Layers of bedding as well. And we tried to keep moving. And I think this is it. It's harder if you're an older person. It's much harder to do that. Or if for some reason you're not able to move around as easily, then it becomes extra important just to keep those layers on and the warm drinks, some other source of heating, maybe a bit of hot water bottles. One room, make one room cosy and warm. Thicker, if you've got thicker curtains, or you can put up another layer of curtains or put something on your windows, and go for the comfort things, the things that give you comfort as well, so yeah, having a nice blanket over your legs when you're sat in a chair, or a blanket to get under on the settee, just do that. Yeah, and look after yourself. So simple tips, little things, things that we did when we were here, and we still do. We're lucky enough now. We do have a wood fire, wood stove, so we're not actually cold in our house anymore. But I'd say for the first 2 or 3 years, we were quite cold at times, and so we did those kind of things. So stay warm, lots of love, and see you next time. Bye.